Hello everyone, my name is Andreas. I'm part of the pop movement team here in Germany and the very western part of Germany. And Ash asked me if I could tell you a little bit about our pop movement team and our current and already finished projects here in Germany. So I think his idea is that we can get in touch a little bit more and learn from each other how the pop movement works in different countries. And I'm very happy and proud to be a part of it. But at the same time, if I'm now going to start to tell you a little bit about our work, I want you to keep it as an idea what maybe is possible in your work, in your special situation, in your country with your group. So we are a group of students at school. I'm the teacher who tries to lead it a little bit. Um, but I think the pop movement can be an absolutely different way of working in a different country. So on the other side, I would be absolutely happy if I can get some information about the work you do in your countries and with your special um, people. So please, I hope I can get some information from the other teams too. Yeah, so we started and I'll show you a little bit around our website. We started uh, with the pop movement when the father from Ashbury came to our school to visit us. The first thing that came out of this visit was that a small group of people came together and said, okay, when we would like to work in a sustainable way, we first have to know what is the amount of CO2 that our stool pushes out every year, because then we can start looking for some special projects to lower the amount of CO2. So that's what we did, that we first counted the CO2 emissions of our stool. And one of the following projects then has been that we had a special view on the way how people come to our school every day, so the commuting behavior. And we measured, so we had those questionnaires written, and a lot of students and teachers took part. And it was very interesting to see what has been the differences in that. And only to doing this measurement made a big rumor within the classes, within the teaching community, without even knowing the results from our work even before. So it was really a good push to sensitize the people as far as their commuting behavior is concerned. Um, One of the things that, oh, sorry for that. One of the things the student wanted to change at the very beginning was lowering the amount of water that we are using in our stool. And because our stool is, I think, for 4 years now, some kind of in a modernizing status, we got those special water taps which just switches off after a special time. And so we measured how those water taps has been not programmed, but has been installed. I think you know what I mean. Uh, the result was that it was much too long. So what is the average time for washing your hands? And then we had again a measurement. So students of the Pop Movement team has been inside the bathrooms and checked how often is one of those water taps pushed every day in the breaks between the lessons. And because of the reason that the water taps had different running times, we had to count all that. And at the end, it came out that there was a huge amount of reducing the water immediately, just if you would install those water taps in a perfect way. And we went to the city, because the city runs our school, and said, hey, we can save on this time, we can start now saving so much water and so much money, which is always a big factor, a big reason for the city. And that was a very nice project, which has been possible to start and to have a positive result in a very short time. So my if someone would ask me what would you think about what shall we do first? Which project? I would always recommend to do a project where you know, okay, a positive result could be reached very soon. So that keeps the motivation high, even if you work together with the young students, with the young persons. Um, because of the reason, sorry, because of the results, that wasn't the word, for the commuting examination, how people go to school every day, we said, okay, it's not it's not so clear, or people don't really understand, even not young people, if you tell them in average, that's the data for the German vehicles, and on average you have an exhaustion from 1 kilogram CO2 when you go by bike, sorry, when you go by car for a distance of 7 kilometers. So 1 kilogram on 7 Ks. And we said, hearing this number, it doesn't make you feel, how to say, you can't handle it, you can't feel this number. So what we did is we built what we called weight models, so that that students really can feel what will be the weight if I go by car for a special trip. And you see it here, we worked with those heavyweight models. This was a special distance to one of the big shopping centers here around if you go by car there. Or we had those filled water bottles, we filled it with sand. And this girl here just now feels what will it be if she goes by car to the school every day. And I'm not quite sure. I think she has now the amount for Tuesday, so she has been on Monday and Tuesday at school, but now it's followed by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and on Friday all the bottles will fall down. So this is a good thing. We said we need to make the people feel. We have to create what we call in German aha effect, so that you say, okay, now I understand. Because feeling something is much more secure, much more safe in your brain than just hearing it or reading about it. Um, Another very nice thing, project, one of my favorite projects, because it was so easy to do, was we talked about why do we still have those fresh fiber paper, I think it's called. Let's have a look on the English version here. Yeah, fresh fiber paper. And we asked for the amount of sheets of paper that we're using in the school every year, and it's nearly 1 million sheets of paper, 820,000 sheets. So we um, searched in the internet on the site of the German Umweltamt, which is the ecological office, state ecological office. And so we counted how many CO2, how many wood, and how many water is used or is exhaust for our annual amount of paper. And then we searched for what is about recycled copy paper. And there are a lot of different types of recycled copy paper. And I asked, why don't we have recycled copy paper? I asked my colleagues, I asked in the secretary, I asked the headmaster. And the reason was, the answer everyone gave to me was, because it's cheaper, fresh fiber paper. And then we had a research for it, and it wasn't cheaper. It was even more. It wasn't more expensive. Sorry for that. They said the fresh fiber paper is more expensive. No, it's not. It's the same. It's even cheaper if you search around a little bit in the internet for online shop or something like that. So that's what we changed within 2 weeks, I think. And it was, I think, for 5 days the people. So my colleagues, my teachers, started to, oh, okay, the brown paper. But after 5 days, some of them really couldn't see a difference anymore. So that was nice. And what I like most on this project is that did not um, we did not cancel or said we have to do lower. So a lot of improvement can be done without lowering what I always say, the quality of life. So nothing has changed just because we use recycled paper. Nothing. And it's not even we do not even use one paper less. So there's still to come to bring the people to do less copying. But that was absolutely fantastic project because it was so easy to install. We did a lot more of projects. I don't want to bore you. So if you would like to have a look on it, please go on our website, pop-movement.de, which you see here in the front. Agile project. So we're talking about that we are in contact with the politics, so the city which runs our school, and said, hey, why don't we have a solar panel on our roof or solar panels? A very nice thing, a very nice project. I like, very good, is that we have got not anymore the normal chalkboards. We have those smart boards, and as you can see on the picture here on the lower right, um, you can switch them off, and those smart boards has been programmed with the normal factory program setting. And what we did was, okay, we measured for 1 week what is the amount of electricity used if it's running with the factory settings, and if we do a new program on it. So we just switch off after a minute. So the smartboard shouldn't start when you're entering the room. You have to push one time and things like that. And once again, it was what's always so important for the city. It wasn't. I think over 1,000 of euros a year you can just use without once again don't lower the use of time. So it's just so that you have a very good installation of those products. I hope you know what I mean. So we have been part in a climate challenge competition, it was called. So we we won it, and we've been able, with the money, to buy one of those smart benches, it's called. So as you can see, it's a bench to sit on in front of a football ground, and we're having those PV floor on it. So you can sit there and you can plug in your mobile, which is not a bad thing for the students. So if you power off, you just have a sit there. And this is some things more, so I don't want to tell you every single um, project. If you're interested in it, because it has not only been those big projects, we've been on sustainability markets. So we showed our idea. We've been in the politics when there was a conference. We worked together with the energy company, um, who invited us to an energy trade fair, and we've been there with our weight models. That was really quite nice. So if you start, you will feel that the network will getting wider and wider. And if you're interested in the details and the lot of things more that we've done, please have a look on our website. And there's a link. So I'm sorry for that. The links are always in German language, but all the rest is in German and English language. So I have a link. Have a look here on the link, monatliche newsletter, which means monthly newsletters. And if you go on this, you will find here something like English newsletters on the upper right, and then we have for every month a newsletter. Um, what I think is sorry, what I think what was good for us at the beginning is that we, after a few months working together, that we sat together and said, okay, we have to think about what is our approach, and what are our principles, and even more important, I think, that why our why we still exist, maybe, or why are we more or less so successful, is our philosophy and our let's have a look, our philosophy and our goals, because we felt very soon that a lot of people came to us and said, hey, you're an ecological group, you're a sustainability group, we would like to do something with trade fair. That's our job. And even in school, if you're a teacher, you're getting so much information from people who want you to do something in school. Then there was another project like, hey, you should do something for the bees. So we have a wildflower project here. And because we sat together at the beginning and said, okay, everything's important, every sustainable goal, but we will focus and we will focus only on two goals, number 7 and number 13, renewable energy and climate action. I think this focusing was so important for us because otherwise you have just a widespread field, which makes you very hard even to say no. So if someone comes and said, "Hey, I would like to do something with, as I said, zero hunger or no poverty," it's absolutely important, those sustainable goals. But we are focused on this one, and there are network and there are some linked positions between it, which is okay. But I think if you would like to do very good progress, focus on one of those goals. And the other thing why I think it's running good here in the pop movement Germany is um, that we said, let's have a look on that. Where is it? Sorry for that. Give me a second. Um, yeah, I have to go back here to the way that we said how we would like to do it, so our approach. I think this is a very important one that we always said, okay, we're not doing it by wagging one's fingers at others. Um, because I told my students, and I do it regularly, those climate change project that has been on the um, in the media, that has been in the school books when I was a child, when I went to school. And there it was said, hey, you're not allowed to take the car, don't fly too much. And what worked? It didn't work. So you have to make it other. So you have to nudge. There's a very good phrase in American English for it, to nudge the people, to push them, but without that they know that they are getting pushed. And then they have to feel it and to see and have this aha effect that, oh, okay, that's crazy. So we shouldn't do that. But you can't tell them do that or don't do that, then nothing will work out. So once again, at the end, please think about once again that I don't want to overflood you with information, and I'm absolutely not the person who tells you what to do. Um, do what you want and do what's making you happy and where you have fun of it and where your heart burns for, because it will be a long term. And at the start, I can tell you, people smiled about us. Not only the students who laughed behind their hands on my students, it was even with my colleagues. But after a few months of time, it's really like we are more or less a part of the school, and people are happy to see what you can reach. And I'm absolutely with you that I think this idea of the pop movement is a good one because it comes from the people down here. There are times when you think about, okay, we can change the behavior of people if they want to. Not everyone wants to, and we work as we call it multiplicator here in Germany. So um, I can teach people, I can help them to find out about the importance of sustainability, and they will go on with that. They will spread it. But on the other side, if you would to like to make it globally and in a big way, you have to go to the politics. So that's another good question. Then you're working from up down. So I'm not so with the politics because I'm, I don't know. I'm more very near to the people. But these are the two ways, I think. So work with the people, that's the pop movement, or go to the politics and try to make changes there. I'm very happy to hear what's happening in the other pop movement teams in Europe and around the world, and I would absolutely appreciate to get your point of view and your projects, um, and to get in touch with you one day. That would be perfect if we will meet physically. Stay safe in times of Corona and all the best. And don't forget the sustainability um, and the climate crisis, which doesn't make or break just because of Corona. Bye from Germany.